Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2021 International 9-Ball Open. Thank you. That's what we like to hear. Thank you very, very much. The 2021 International 9-Ball Open is a Pat Fleming production, and it's being brought to you by Accu-Stats, and it's being brought to you live from the Simonis Aramuth Arena at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel. We also want to thank them not only for their hospitality for the past 4 years, but a special thank you, of course, to our great industry partner, Diamond Billiard Products, for providing us with the best equipment in the world for all our 3 events and for their continued support of Accu-Stats and Pro Pool around the globe. Thank you, Diamond. Six days ago, 128 players from 22 countries came here to vie for this title. 125 of them aren't here anymore. There's 3 players left, the 2 that are going to play for you right now. The winner of this match will play Dennis Orcollo for the championship in about 2 or 3 hours. And we congratulate Dennis on getting to the finals. We also want to congratulate James Aranis for a great performance and a top 4 finish. With that being said, let's not wait any longer. Our first player representing the USA, a 5-time US Open 9-ball champion, and we're very proud to say for the very first time that he is the vice captain of USA's Team Mosconi Cup for this year, sponsored by, sponsored by Q-Tech and by Andy Cloth, and we have enjoyed watching him play for many, many years. We're waiting for another great performance from the South Dakota kid, SHANE VAN BOENING. His opponent represents Austria. 3 times he's represented Team Europe on the Mosconi Cup. He's also a former Mosconi Cup MVP. He's a 2-time World Cup of Pool champion and a 2-time reigning and defending World 9-Ball champion. Sponsored by Predator. Let's hear it for Albin Ouschan. Okay, here we go. Our official timekeeper once again, Mr. John Baker. Now my honor to send it upstairs to the booth to Mark Wilson and USA's Mosconi Cup captain, Double J, Jeremy Jones.
Hello, I'm Mark Wilson, and welcome to you, the greatest pool fans in the world. We also have today's greatest pool commentator here as well. What are your initial thoughts, Jeremy Jones?
Well, of course, obviously, talked about it all week. 2 of the greatest in the game are, top 5 in my mind for sure, these 2 guys. And some would say higher than that, and I wouldn't question it. But I think 2 of the guys that probably speak the loudest on the table, both guys a little bit of introverts, you could say, Mark. But like I said, make a lot of noise on the table. And here to start out exactly what Shane didn't want, a non-complying break. I think, we talked about all week how we both feel Shane's in a great frame of mind, playing the game right now, really just getting better and better. But if there's anything that may get to you a little bit, Mark, is a non-complying break, right?
Yeah, when you lay into them that way, make the shot that you're playing, and the balls go all over, and you don't comply. I mean, it's frustrating. This is the optimum break when you rack the 9 on the spot, but then there comes with that risk.
Yeah, we'll see an occasional. Well, not an occasional, but we'll see a scratch here and there a little more often because of this break rule. The guys know they got to gamble a little bit. And this shot tells me the 4-5 combo is pretty playable. Got nice and heavy on the 3. You wouldn't think he would draw back for the side with all that traffic. So even if it's a hair off, I think he plays the 4-5. Now, if it's a hair off, he's got to be very mindful of where the 4 is going.
That's what the Filipinos do so well from playing all the 15-ball rotation, is they control the secondary ball of a combination shot.
Okay, well, that tells me it can't be off much because he didn't try to maneuver the cue ball much. But it does look like it's off a bit, so normally They get a little chance to run off the ball, so the 4 should come clean here. Past the 7, out into the center. Oh, he was more head on than I thought. So just kept it really simple.
Gotta love Albin's game. He does everything well.
Yeah, very natural-looking player. I think any of them that look, very natural, and I think the best players in the world look very athletic when they play. I think those are the ones that hold up under pressure the best. And, of course, anytime, you feel good physically, you're swinging the cue well, you make great decisions usually. Now, the one thing I saw from the last match, or at least what I was thinking about between the 2 different semifinals is, I thought we might see an early mistake or 2 in the last one, which I don't think we'll probably get that here. Just my feeling. Okay, here, just pocket the 8 comfortably with the 9 very easy on the side. Don't get too involved with trying to force the cue ball somewhere, holding it, or to the rail. Even if you float and you fall on the rail, it's okay.
World-class pool on display right here. 1-0 Ouschan over SHANE van Boening.
Yeah, and immediately, something that I saw in last night's quarterfinal from Ouschan. Sure seems like he put a lot of the same strokes on many of those shots.
Mm-hmm.
He just really hovers around that same medium-ish stroke a lot, which is a very comfortable way to play. Of course, that's nice when you get so much, cue action out of doing so little.
Yeah, he doesn't waste any energy, and for everybody watching at home, and notice the transition from backswing to foreswing. It's very, very consistent with Albin. Super smooth, super fluid. He stays still, gets through the ball, never in a hurry. Some of the other players, when they feel threatened, you'll see that abrupt transition creep in there, and it certainly hampers accuracy. That's right when they start to falter.
Yeah, it really starts with the backswing, and at least I think so. That's the one that really sets up what's going to happen with that transition. But like you said, Albin very consistent, and nice kiss on the cue ball. I think he was maybe going to get a scratch, and interesting, these 2 start off a little troubled on the break. I don't think the 2 goes, though. It's very close. I can see a little shake of the head from SVB. That tells me the 2 probably doesn't go. And the problem is the 4's in the way to really get at it. The angle off the 1 is going kind of into the 4.
Yeah, this is a spot where you might even think of playing the safe right now, and that way if you falter on the safe, the 2 is still tangled up.
Yeah. He's not afraid to elevate the cue and come 2 rails around the 3 on such a tough angle and a tough shot. But I just don't see the safety that I like either. I mean, now he could hit this hard with a lot of top inside and maybe deflect to the right of the 4.
Yeah.
And then let the English kind of take. I think he's going to try and come around the 3 myself.
He's elevating. That ball's bouncing, though. It doesn't take very, Oh, yeah, he couldn't go big power. So,
well, the 2 may go then. That says the 2 goes, right?
Or pre-planned safety is what I thought he was going after, but maybe it does go. He's down looking on 1 line. So, if it does go, it's only a half a pocket because he wouldn't be down on 1 knee sighting it if it was ample room.
Yeah, and if you only have the bottom part of the pocket being above the ball actually works against you here. You'd rather be a hair behind it. Oh, he hit it sweet. The way he shot that makes me think he had a little more than maybe we think, or we thought initially. Now, it looks like the 8 passes the 9. It's not got a full pocket. But I don't think he'll flirt with trying to move something here. I think it's too touchy getting on the 4 anyways.
Yeah. As a question, When you think of elite players of today, Jeremy, who do you know that's got more cue power than Shane Van Boening?
We've always kind of said that I think maybe Jeffrey DeLuna. And what I mean by that is they all have power, but DeLuna, it seems like he can really raise the bar with the power and keep a lot more accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, today's game, we rarely go over 75%, and that's really with anything. I mean, Shane can turn it up on the break, of course, and be very accurate. But when we're, open tables, the guys play so well with angles and stuff, they rarely use even 50%, to be honest with you. But that rare occasion when a shot comes up and you need a ton of power, just go look at DeLuna's highlight reel. It seems like he can hold the Q-tip nice, kind of stable with the stroke still, even at like some 80 or 90%.
But Shane's right at the top of the
of
heap.
course, yeah,
Point.
absolutely, absolutely.
When he has to bring it, he's got that tool.
Well, lends towards his technique as a whole, but which I think is mildly changing to an extent or improving.
Mm-hmm.
He is one that didn't go through the cue ball as much as others, so when you don't use that to create power, you have to create it a little more with the swing.
You get a good look. See his elbows more over the top of the cue, and it only flicks out just a hint. For a while, it was quite a bit more than that.
Yeah, a little more angled.
Mm-hmm.
But he's always trying to get better, I'll tell you that. Big 8-ball by the 9. And what an out here.
Boy, he needed it.
Well, just starting with a tough 1-ball on the rail. He had to, elevate to beat hitting the 4 to come down for a tight 2-ball. Very touchy shot on the 3. And like I said, interesting that they both start off with a non-complying break and then a dry break.
Followed by 2 gorgeous runouts here. Very consistent pool being played. They make it seem so simple. It doesn't look like it's so taxing at all on them, but yet we know that you have to work very hard. You have to labor through many of those circumstances. They just go right on through, no problem.
Yeah, and hats off to Pat Fleming and the crowd here. You can feel the energy way up here in the box. And, a lot of these guys stayed in the country. Of course, Shane being an American in the country and so much success here in Norfolk. But Albin flew home for that tournament in Austria, and he didn't have to come back. And everyone wouldn't have blamed him after such a lot of travel for the U.S. Open and Vegas and everything else. But he came back, and not just to play in a great tournament, but I think this venue and the people, the fans, really have a lot to do with it, Mark.
I agree. There's a great energy here. And we have quite a few of the players that are left in town here in the crowd, too. I know Nick Farner was here at the other match. I see Jerry Braceth. I see Billy and Cardona, Chris Robinson.
All right, some action on the 9, but quickly a non-complying break as well, and an open shot at the 2. So this is going to test the waters as far as psychologically for Shane, mentally. I mean, he is as tough as it gets, but there's probably nothing in any tournament format that would get you more, right?
No, and his game, even though he has all the skills, is kind of built off of that offensive fast break off the break, like a blitzkrieg type of offense.
Yeah. Oh my. And you don't see it very often, but I'm sure you noticed a little quick there, right? So when you're a little quick, you can deflect a little more because you put a little more on the left side of the ball. That ball was pretty close to the hole, so you doubt he's aiming poorly, right?
Yeah. Shane looks disappointed that this is such a tough play here into the side pocket. And he's going to have to send that cue ball. If it does cut into the 9 and 6, and that's controlling that is treacherous, maybe even undoable.
Well, he wouldn't mind taking some distance on the 3 as long as he could come away with a clean shot.
Yeah, Shane's definitely taking some time here. He's going to use his extension for this rack. They're playing with a 40-second shot clock, 1 40-second extension per rack.
Well, he can go around the 9. But getting around the 6. Now, do you go in between the 9-6? If he chops it with inside and tries to make a grab going back and forth off the 2 long rails, I'm afraid it might dive a little bit off the second rail mark and go towards the 9, or even maybe even towards this corner pocket right here on the lower right part of your screen. Let's see.
Right.
Watch it dive a little bit. You see that?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
we got it. Now
We're going to see that big miss from
Albin.
Albin Ouschan on the 2-ball, and we'll talk about Shane's shot in a moment and how clever it was.
Yeah, just accepting a long, tough get here.
He just wants to get to the head string, and this is where he's improved, in my opinion. You see how much sweeter he stayed there?
Yeah,
I mean, he may get behind the 8, but you see how much better the transition was there. He used to power that ball a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
And not saying he couldn't get away with it because he was so accurate with the tip, but you do shrink the pocket a little bit when you fire it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't mean slow roll the ball, of course. You still got to commit.
There's elbows right over the top, right straight over the top. I've never seen him like that recent years.
Okay, he's going to have to stun by the 7, it looks like. I don't think he wants to take this on in the corner. So he'll come 2 rails off the top rail, side rail, and come right at the 6. This is middle ball with maybe just a quarter tip of right. You don't really need much.
You're getting a little extra right on the cut on the 5 anyway.
Yeah, don't let up, though. Yeah, that's the key. Notice how he didn't guide it on that line. You know, you pick the thickness of the hit, and then you commit to the stroke.
The tip flows right on through the cue ball and kind of stays on the cue ball a hint longer than a bad player does. You know, it's just a smidgen. It's only 1,000th of a second, but it's super important for your consistency and speed control.
All right, Shane usually wouldn't travel for the side here. He just played for the corner. Oh, he's coming down. Okay. I guess he just felt too hard to mess that up, right? But a lot of guys would have tracked one rail like Albin last night. We saw a couple prime situations where he just came simply one rail at the 7. Okay, he should pull this ball a couple rails, catching the 3rd rail. Don't think he could come one rail, I guess. Shane doesn't mind wrapping out of the corner here.
Very routine 9-ball now.
And if you reflect back to the shot on the 2 mark, you know, Shane felt the little wrist there. That's why you saw him not hit it very hard. He didn't want anything bad to happen. You know, if he came away with a longer shot on the 3, that's fine. Yeah. He came away with having to play safe on the 3, that's fine. All right, I think we're going to get a look at this miss here and
see what his stroke looks like. Yeah, you can see it definitely arc to the side. You can see the tip push to the left, and that further fueled pushing the cue ball out to the right. And that was because he doesn't miss that ball by that dimension without it some type of a mechanical failure.
Yeah, it's actually the right hand went outward, which is usually a helper trying to hit left English, and you just put a little more pressure on the side of the ball. It deflects a little more than you think. Usually stops you from following through correctly. And Albin's like the premium combination of a striker of the cue ball, but also uses the stroke, right? The follow through.
Really good explanation too, Jeremy. You summed it up spot on.
All right. The break is funny. Tell you these two. Now, Shane had a few dry breaks, I believe, in the quarterfinal. Maybe it was the match before that. But overall, both these guys have broke very well and now struggling early in this semifinal. Sweet shot here. Does he go with just natural? It looks like to me he's got to apply. Either he's going to roll it with no spin, or if he wants to attack a little bit, meaning put a little more speed, he's got to address it with either left or right. You know, kind of go one way or the other. Now Shane is so smart. He doesn't, and so kind of tough and disciplined. he doesn't mind setting up for a thin 2-ball to go back and forth. You know, he won't try and like overdo it right here to get that grade on the 2.
As evidenced in the last rack when he took on 2 or 3 long positions just to make sure he had position.
Yeah, like I said, work a little more, right?
Looks like he's powering up here. I thought he would
Going
roll
around.
it. Well, I don't know where he's going. No, he rolled it.
Yeah, with straight high. Ooh. And he was going to take on a tough 2-ball to get on the 3, and he's going to be a little upset about that. I don't really feel like he was upset when the cue ball was going away from his cue stick. You know how you'll see it from a lot of players. They kind of know instantly.
Well, that ball did hang, so he didn't hit it horrible.
Right.
It wasn't horrid. When I miss like that, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, right.
It's when I miss one like Albin did there. I'm kind of ashamed.
Okay, that's going to help things, moving that 5 a little bit.
By design, too.
I think it's going to help things. He's still got to get kind of decent with the 8 being there. That if it would have went over another few inches, it would have really helped things.
Albin knew that the 4 was over the side, so any kind of a shot on the 3 allows him easily to get position, but moving the 5 out away from the rail might help down the way, and I think it laid natural for that, too.
All right, can he go past the 9 to that rail, or does he have to put inside on this? And this is where the 8 could come into play here in a moment. If he has to put inside or even come across the left side of the 7.
Looks like he has to stay on his end of the table.
That's what I mean. Yeah, this could be funny. Now, if he gets nice and full.
But not on the rail.
Yeah, but he did well. He kind of needed that a little bit. That was pretty much by design, flirting with that side pocket, I think, anyways.
Yeah, pretty clever play there to get full enough then by keeping it on the rail.
Yeah, he doesn't want straight in on the 6, though. That's why I wouldn't say let up on it, but he made sure he wasn't really getting through it. Does that make sense, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
You get through it, you got to come some 2 rails to really get that angle. He's still not out of the woods, though. This is the type of shot, if you're going to play the 7 and if you're looking at the screen in now the upper right, not where the 8 lays, but the other corner. When you let up on the stroke, you can get funny here, meaning you don't quite draw it enough.
Yeah.
So I think I would come forward myself. Yeah, that's what I saw. Even the combo is not bad at all. Some may say that's a risky play, but I think it's the right play. Oh, my. Did he take it for granted? A little one-stroke
There was a little bit maybe, but it wasn't laying just perfect. Yeah. Combinations are tough, but boy, that's a big turnover right there. Instead of being tied at 2 apiece, it easily could be 3-1 SHANE Van Boening.
Yeah, the jacket's coming off for Albin. Literally. Yeah, that was a pretty easy combination, though. And
as combinations go.
Yeah, for sure. Now Shane, man, he's got to love it up 3-1 now.
Yeah, he did not expect to get this game.
And breaking.
Okay. I wouldn't mind taking another look at that combo miss for sure. It was just a hint. There it is. And he just didn't hit it thin enough. Yeah, caught it fat, hit the point. And these are snug pockets, too. This is not just buckets that we're playing on.
No, but that's a 9 out of 10 in my mind for these guys as far as combos go. That's a high percentage combo. And, that's why he played it that way. Albin is the professional's pro, right? Like, he knows not to shoot combos unless it's like really the percentage play, and I think it was. So 2 big misses, a 2-ball we never expected, and even more unexpected, I think, a 9 right there. So Albin is kind of figuring out, processing what's going on. I would highly doubt he's beating himself up. 3-1. You'd rather be 3-1 you, but 3-1 down after 4 games. Certainly come back. Yeah, with these two, right? Race to 10 alternate break. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw like 3 or 4 lead changes before a hill final.
Yeah. Yeah, that figures to go deep for sure.
Little heavier hit on the 1, sacrificing the 1. Oh my. So you have those days where your greatest asset leaves you. Mm-hmm. Even in this format, he's one of the best breakers, if not the best.
And that's 3 consecutive problems with the break. Two non-compliant and 1 scratch.
Yeah, but I think he purposely caught more 1 ball. He drove the 1 through the rack. It hit short of the side because Shane's like one of the best at making it in the side. So those 2 non-complying breaks really kind of got into his head a little bit there, like he wanted to make a change. Man, after a huge mistake, right, on the combo. What a time to get ball in hand. All right, he's just got to pay attention. Pretty easy rack. Most of the balls are right there in the center once he gets past the 3. Just play a 1 rail angle out to the center of the table, and everything else kind of speaks for itself. I think the 7 does pass the 8 as well in the side. Oh, he's just drawing. Want to get a little closer.
Looks like the balls are laying pretty nice here. The 7 goes into the side pocket easily past the 8. He can also come back to the center of the table and play it in the corner.
Just a straight high ball.
He didn't have to use much power. Slides that ball into the pocket. Falls nicely on the 7. Straight topspin, 1 cushion. Okay, Albin's winning his games from Shane Van Boening's break. Score is now 3-2. Albin Ouschan will be breaking.
Lost the ball down below the table. Kenny Shulman tracks that down, and really only 1 mistake that I can recall for Shane, that long 1 ball he had to roll. So, but it's just been a little bit of his break slowing him down. We've seen a few errors from Albin, and I wouldn't label it with Albin, any kind of SVB effect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
no, I wouldn't either.
It's something I see him still trying to process a little bit.
Well, he's a perfectionist. I mean, look at him. He's every bit of his clothing fits perfect, and it's neat as a pin, and he doesn't do anything halfway. He's always coordinated. This is the guy that's organized and together, and he's here to win. Going with the Dennis Orcollo on the fingertips break.
Yeah, nothing down for him. Oh, there's 1 down. The 1's going to open up. I believe it does have a pocket by the 2. The right-hander can reach over, I believe. Reach this pretty easily.
Pretty nice layout here. I noticed Shane's body language suggested that he fully expects Albin to win this game and tie the match.
Yeah, don't really see much work. Of course, you always got to work, but nothing, too alarming. He's going to utilize the center of the table a lot here. I don't think he'll travel a whole lot from the 2 to the 3. Hey. All right, the key when you're queuing like that over a ball, all ball fouls, is once you get to that certain point and you're comfortable, don't go any lower. You know what I mean? Don't take any chance.
You're right.
That's what I always see. The only way the guys foul with the shirt really is they get to a point they're comfortable with and they think they got more room, and when their heads turn, they lower the body a little bit more. Draw stroke here. Just to the center of the table, maybe?
Yeah. Earlier this week in the 10-foot table, I don't know if you and I were doing the broadcast, but SHANE Van Boening hit the greatest draw stroke I ever saw.
On the 3 ball, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was buried deep, and he was on the back rail, and then he comes straight back with all kinds of clutter. Hit it so pure, threw it perfectly straight back.
Well, you had a pretty good one on the 2 ball in another match just after that on the 10-footer. Elevated, just kind of smoothed it all the way back. The 3 was unreal, though. It was deep, deep in the pocket, and he had a little tunnel of balls to kind of bring it back between, and cue ball never hit a rail, went 10 feet down, 10 feet back. All right, he got a little bit of an awkward angle here. I think he just pulls it. He's got a choice of coming 2 rails because he does want a little angle on the 6 to get a little better on the 8. He can pinch it nice, though. He's got that sweet stroke like that. That's the stroke you have to have. You have to have that shot on the slick table because it's hard to really calculate going back and forth. If you lose the tip, the cue ball falls a little bit forward on you. And
the more you travel the cue ball, the more, inconsistency you're going to encounter because of a longer stroke required.
But a lot of players aren't comfortable with that little stroke he made on the 5 ball, where you still are attacking with a draw, but it's
you have to arc it coming off the object ball to pick up the pace.
Yeah, kind of trust the ball grabbing at a certain point and whatnot. Ooh, that one hit a little high. Guess never really too much of a doubt.
Yeah, he played the speed right. 3-3 is our score.
Now SHANE will be back at the table to break, and I'll tell you, another one he'll be scratching his head heavily, Mark. Another non-complying break or a dry break. Got a kiss on there on the cue ball to lose it in the lower right-hand corner. What an untimely kiss on that scratch it was, because Albin had just made a huge mistake on the combo on the 9. He really got to kind of leave it behind him. Nothing shakes things off better than ball in hand. And I don't think Dennis would really be watching too much of this. That's not Dennis's, MO. But Dennis making the 1 and the corner ball a lot.
Yeah.
So just in comparison of the start between these two and how Dennis kind of took over in that match and ended it. All right. A lot better there. Oh, no. Oh, my. Of course, he's not still coming on the path he wants with the cue ball. Like that was going to be a little high if it didn't get the first kiss. But nothing easy for Albin here. He's got to play the 3 with some angle. Not sure it goes by the 8. And it doesn't go by the 6 up top. I don't think it goes by the 7 and the up top left corner. Interesting to see how he plays this.
Yeah, that 4 is that's going to be the stumbling block here.
He's got such a great stroke. I would be surprised if he stays nice and heavy on this 3, just a hair of an angle, and then draws it with low left to the backside of the 4. Oh, he got too much angle. He's got a stun now. He's going to stun straight across between the 7-5.
That might have been his plan all along, though.
No,
because
that
he
was
got out
definitely
there.
one
Yeah.
of the plans for sure.
Because look at where he's at. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nifty to go between the 5 and 7 here.
Got to really trust your tip position here. Let up on it at all. You could get into the 5 and get steep. You could get into the 7. And a little
Very
shy.
fluid.
Yeah, a little shy. So good chance SVB's planted on the back of the 8-9 here. I don't think you go for this, huh, Mark?
Yeah, you'd have to deal with that clutter. You're going to move balls, and then how good are you going to get on the 5? So he's going to weigh it out.
Well, he's looking at the cut. What he's looking at is, am I catching the 8 on the way in?
Right.
He doesn't want to come to the back of it.
Catch it on the way out, it could be a real problem. On the way in, it could be a problem, too.
Sure, with the 7 being there especially, right? So
You have to make up your mind, though, that are you planning to go on the way in? Are if
on the way out is a terrible way to get snookered. I would definitely want to catch the 8 on the way in here.
And that means you'd want to introduce a little bit of right-hand spin on the cue ball.
Yeah, maybe straight. Yeah, a little right there. He's very comfortable. He's feeling it.
He was close. That helps, too.
Yeah,
Nicely executed.
beautiful. And again, just kind of shows you how aggressive these players stay.
Yeah, you don't want to
Which is-
mouse around with Shane like you can't make something happen from nowhere, you know.
Well, that is true, but I mean, he was going to bury him behind the 8-9 there, follow through the 4 and back up on the backside of the 8-9. Things were going to be tough for Efren to hit the ball, you know, really.
Yeah.
But he liked the shot. Little flat here. Very surprised he didn't hold more angle to come 2 rails at the 7. The 7 definitely goes by the 9 with no problems.
I think he's going to draw out of there, too.
Ooh. No, he's going forward. He's going to play a little short side on the 7 by the 8. I don't think he's going to put left on this. Oh, he did. He got a little bit of a bounce.
Oh, boy. Perfect.
He's going to love that. Even though I'm not sure he exactly wanted to come in like that. The one thing is he didn't back off. He went in and stroked the ball. Albin maybe reaches over here, gets the, can reach it.
And there it is, 4-3, Albin Ouschan over Shane Van Boening.
Look at that. They're tied at 909 apiece. Their TPA. Ouschan with the 4-3 lead and now breaking. He's kind of, had a dry break or two at first, but now looks a little better on the break. Shane's got issues on the break right now. He's got to get some things figured out.
2 scratches and 2 non-compliant breaks for Shane Van Boening. You said 909. I looked. It never fails. That's one of my favorite Beatles songs. It's one after the 909. The song about a train.
All right, Kenny Shulman here racking. Our head referee.
Rack 8, Albin breaking, leading 4-3.
A little thinner hit. Nice kiss from underneath the rack with the cue ball. He's going to come away with a nice shot on the 2. Nothing easy, but definitely a shot.
Well, things are definitely not going Shane Van Boening's way in the early stages of this match. It wasn't that great of a hit on the rack, and the cue ball gets tattered around, comes forward, and gets clipped back down here. He has a shot on the 2.
I don't think he would have complied without that kiss on the cue ball underneath part of the rack. It really pushed 2 or 3 up.
Yeah.
And now he's sitting a little in between. He's got a 3 up by the 9 as well. So we'll see. I think he comes straight down the table here, Mark. So he's got the side and the upper corner. Oh, he came around. I thought that was an interesting way to play that. I didn't, it wasn't bad by any means. It just didn't look like it sat the greatest. Mm-hmm. Like you almost had to let up on the stroke to hold it a little bit.
Well, he hit that one pretty.
No, and I think that had a lot to do with how he wanted to pocket the ball. Now he's got to go heavy into this.
Little draw with inside spin, or what's going on here?
I think he's just going to shove at one rail and just,
preserve the angle. He doesn't have to come to no.
Yeah, just like that. Okay. Just shove at one rail. Just pretty much cue force more than rotation moving the ball. Okay, I'm not in love with the side. I never am, but especially when you have an angle and you got to move the ball, meaning a small angle going into the side, right? So. He likes it, though.
I don't know. I thought he would go around it.
I try to stay away from inside English here, so I think he probably does also. He can come one rail to the center. What he'll do is just take a little more chop on the 6. I don't think he tries to get heavy on the 6 here. Because he can go back and forth and have the 7. Yeah, nice shot. Now it's the 8 past the 9 mark. It's close.
Yeah, it has part of a pocket. It does not have a full pocket. So if you get close to the 8, it's okay, and it plays pretty routinely. You get a little off angle with some length there, that could be a problem.
Yeah, the heavy drag shot there. The shot on the slick table that really can be a big helper. Ralph Souquet made a living with that shot.
He sure has.
And still is, by the way. He shoots so many variations of it. It's, man, under pressure, if you get, I know people say, man, I don't want to drag the ball under pressure, but if you get used to it, it actually makes things a lot easier at times.
Well, we know that the 9 ball had part of the pocket block because Albin didn't have to go to that side of the 8, but he played it perfectly. Now he gets to take advantage of a routine 9. 5-3 is our score.
Yeah, and this is a very uncommon, and look at that, our TPA from Accu-Stats, Pat Fleming and Q-Tech, 909 for Shane, 925 for Ouschan. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about, errors, right?
Yeah.
Don't really feel like what's going on with Shane with the break really is stemmed from like some errors, right? Like, how when you make an error, usually, you get penalized a little bit. He did miss a long 1 ball. But what I was getting at, Mark, is something we don't see very often. Shane very, very much struggling how to figure it out. Not only, we all break dry and non-comply, but he usually doesn't continue with it very often.
Yeah, the 2 errors. He has 2 scratches on the break, so I don't think that stat was right.
Yeah.
Because he, like you said,
well, one of them, he got an awful kiss on it. And the other one, he kind of was below the rack with the cue ball, so I think he's lost.
Did he miss a ball, too?
He missed the 1 ball, long 1 ball. He had to try and roll in. Remember we were talking about how you said it hit the pocket, so it was pretty good?
Oh, yeah. So that's 3 mistakes for sure.
Watch out, 7 balls. That kind of open up. Okay. The fans very aware of what's going on in this match. A ugly 4-5 up the table, though. And he's got to bank the 2 if he wants to go at it. Now, Shane, if he feels like there's a route to get at the 4 or 5 now while banking the 4, he may do so. Can he go between the 3-8, 1 rail, and then to the top rail and into the 4-5 mark?
Yeah, of course he can, but.
Well, he wants to stay aggressive. I know he does. He could easily put him behind the 7. All right, trying to hold an angle. He came too far. He can't get into it. Any above angle, he could force the ball onto the 4-5 some kind of way. Even if he had hardly any angle, he could draw into those balls, but I think he got dead straight.
Boy, he's looking right now. What can I do?
I think he's looking to see if there's enough room to bank the 4 cross corner between the 5-6. I don't know if there is. He's got to be very careful. If he gets the cue ball a little off here, he may put himself in a hard safety position.
The other part of he seems content. The other part of this is that you don't want to take on a bank and then not succeed. So I think he's playing safe.
I agree.
He's down 2 games. If he loses this game, now he's down 3.
I like following through this and coming to the back back of the 5 with the cue ball like this. Yeah.
I think the other way it plays too tough to control. So.
And he always knew he was going to leave a very hittable kick. 95 out of 100 or higher. Albin hits this. But Shane's just that's just all you can do is play the right shot and see what happens.
And if Albin hits it a certain percentage of the time, he's just going to leave it awkward. Not very much, but 10 to 20%. And then once in a while, he's going to fluke in a ball. So it's not a certainty for Shane, but it's the best percentage play.
Yeah, you could see his mentality. He wanted to run out. That's why he took on the 2-ball bank, trying to get that angle on the 3 to break those balls out. So this was the last kind of thing he wanted to do, but when he was faced with it, definitely the correct shot.
Well, he just wants Albin.
Wow, what a beauty hit there. I mean, if that 4 gets by the 8 right there, Shane's going to have to come with a really tough shot.
Albin just wants Shane just wants Albin to have to earn his openings. That's why he did that. He's not giving any more routine openings like he has from the break here 4 times.
Okay, pretty, he's got an angle, right? So the pocket's a little soft here. Got a little room for error making the ball. Not much, but a little bit. Good follow through there. Got that ball down because it was hit up the rail a little bit.
Yeah, nice speed.
Okay, he's got to be a little careful here, not too much. Thought he got a hair thinner than he probably really wanted, but no reason to, stun the ball, anything like that on the 5. It's between the 3rd diamond and the side pocket here, I think. Unless he's just going to come 1 rail. Nice shot.
Gliding right at the 8, so we know that was a good position route.
Yeah, always Shane would rather come backwards easily off this ball, but it looks like he's got to follow to the right side of the 9, our right.
Good hit there. And 5-4, Van Boening trailing but breaking.
Yeah, you can see those TPAs over 900. There's only one other guy that's equaled Shane with the success here in Norfolk. That's Earl Strickland, 5 U.S. Open titles. Don't think Shane has won the International yet, though.
No, we've only had 2 winners.
Yeah.
Chang Jun Lin and Jason Shaw. But there'll be a new winner this year. earlier on this table, Dennis Orcollo beat James Aranis to advance to the finals and pick up $9,000 in so doing. So no matter what, second place pays $18,000, first $30,000. The match we're in right now is worth $9,000 more. Jerry Bryce sitting ringside. I looked at him. I said, "Are you enjoying this, Jerry?" And he looked at me with the most. He goes, "I love this," and he wasn't joking. He was. When Aranis made that great run out in the previous match, he had his hands over his head clapping for how good that was.
Yeah, that's the break these guys are looking for. A lot of movement on the object balls.
And the cue ball got chipped right towards the side pocket. I thought he was going to scratch there, but he didn't.
Yeah, and he may have to take this on. I don't know if he can bank it around that 3 rails with the 5 being there. Just the angle it sits on. Maybe he can, but it is cuttable. Going into the 4, which is super dangerous with the 9 and everything there.
Controlling the cue ball from that, because it depends on how clean you hit the pocket. If you wobble it in or you hit the pocket clean, it changes that departure line so much.
If he's catching a lot of the 4, he may shoot it. What he's saying is, oh, man, can I shoot it with inside, come off the 4, and come 2 rails around for the side?
Mm-hmm.
So it's either outside to catch more 4 and kill the cue ball as much as you can to hold before the 9, or right English and hit the 4 a little thinner and run off of the 4 a little bit.
You also have to be careful that the 4 doesn't get blocking the 3.
That's just a gamble, right? Can he edge the bottom of the 2 and come to the backside of the 5, 2 rails? He could bank it. Like I said, it just looks like banking it away 3 rails. Doesn't sit there that great.
Right.
You know? So a little bit of a gamble.
I think he is playing safe, though.
Really? I thought he was shooting.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, he got a nice kiss there on the 5. He was going to be snookered if he goes by that 5 ball. Did the 5 get him?
He's down looking. It's close. Here on the overhead, you can see it's pretty tight.
I don't think Kenny Shulman kind of coming into the arena. Wow. Well, it's better than he...
That's a pretty good look right there. I think he can squeeze that in there.
Well, he's elevated. I think he's curving his ball. That's why he's elevated. Slight curve. Yeah, beauty.
Yeah, and we know he had a ton of side spin on there. Look at the way the cue ball position. So he did curve in there. He did manufacture a shot that wasn't really straight on there.
Yeah, and he's making one heck of an out, and really, you'd know the saying better than me. It always leaves me, but something to the effect of, when you stay aggressive, you make great shots. It lends towards a little bit of fortune at times, like on that 2 ball. He needed that bump on the 5, but wasn't ever going to get that bump on the 5 if he wasn't aggressive on the 2.
Right.
So that may be a little of that SVB effect also. But I can't express it enough. Want to become a great player, you have to be mentally aggressive and attacking. And that's every sport, Mark. You know that.
Yeah, aggression wins. Hold'em poker, too.
Yeah. So just a minute. The best out of the set so far, maybe there.
High quality break and run out. That's Albin Ouschan's 3rd break and run out thus far. He leads this match in 6 games to 4.
And I'll tell you, that's his 3rd, and Shane's had more non-complying and scratches combined than break and runs. So,
Yep.
And only trails by 2 though.
Yeah, Shane thus far has only pocketed 29 balls in this match. There's the break stats. Shane's been successful 1 time out of 5. 3 out of 5 for Albin Ouschan, and all 3 resulted in a run out.
Yeah, that's an asterisk should be by that.
That's devastating.
Yeah, that's a to boot kind of thing. Not only am I making balls, I'm running out every time I am making balls. Happy Halloween weekend to everyone out there, by the way. See a few dressed up in the crowd with their Halloween colors on. Matching couple up there in the top of the stands.
I saw them. Yeah, they were in the ticket line when I came in.
Yeah, now Shane, I think, feels a little better about things after his last break. There was no question on complying. A little better hit on the one ball.
7 balls the wing ball. 1 went in.
Well, he was hitting the one much thicker. I think he's
No shot and not an easy push out.
Yeah, that's the ball so close to the hole. He can't just push the 6 away and leave an easy jump. I don't think he'll ever get it back. Where do you roll out here? You have to roll out maybe behind the 3 on the top rail, leaving some type of rail first kick shot. That's about all I see. Yeah, right where he's looking right there. That's the only real place I see that at least you may get it back. And if you don't get it back, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
The jumps, he's not gonna get it back.
It's not even that easy to get it dead right where he needs to be because you definitely want that 3 ball completely in the way.
This isn't terrible if he rolls out, but he's going to leave it pretty tough. The thing is, he can't roll out too close to the 9. That's too easy of a jump. He has to roll out near the rail.
I like where and then play the 1 pocket safety where you go rail first off the end rail and then chip off the edge. And you see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm wondering what he might get back. What type of shot he might get back and what type of shot he might not, because I know Albin doesn't play a lot of 1 pocket, but I think I talked about it last night. I don't think anyone consistently puts on any better a kicking display than him. Maybe Chang. Chang's kicks at the ball really well. Okay. You see a little piece of this? Where he's crossing it up the rail and bringing the cue ball maybe behind the 4?
He was measuring. He wanted to see, and like you said, it's much easier to play this shot that Shane has to play now when you're forced into it. We're talking about, I don't know if we can get the overhead real quick, but here, and then let the cue ball come down table, and hopefully the 2 filters back
he's
here.
He's doing something totally different. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, he might be going that the other way.
Wow.
What?
He curved it in, and I'm very surprised he gave that back, right?
Yeah.
He just made a beautiful curve in the last rack Albin did on the 3 in the side.
And it didn't curve that much because look at the pace that was on the cue ball.
Absolutely. Equally difficult shot here because he can't play it with a heavy pace. He can come out a foot or 2, but you can't kill it with tip position because the side there. He's got to just roll it. How was that, Mark?
What a hit. Yes. Tremendous shot there following it up. Boy, he's making something happen here.
Yeah, well, I've always talked about Shane. I thought being the most unique rollout player you'll ever see. Rolls out so tough. Now, that one there, we both agree. I think maybe Albin should have taken it. And not just because he knocked it in, but how easily he knocked it in. Now maybe just stuns an inch or 2 to his right. He's going to roll it. I'll tell you, Shane's starting to look more confident.
He is, too.
Talk about him with the crazy eyes. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen him before where he gets real open-eyed, like he's taking in a lot of oxygen or something like that. But what an out there and what a pressure shot on the 2 ball.
What a good push out, too. Get it back and then execute a great shot to start. The next shot after the spin shot was okay that he made to open up the rack, but the second shot to hold that cue ball and hit the heart of the pocket. Well, he's fighting for sure.
There's the rack track.
6-5 is our score now.
And for alternate break, you wouldn't think so, but it's been some streaks in this tournament, that's for sure, right inside the matches. And, thinking about that 2-ball and how great Albin is as assessing things, and, I know he hit it at a heavy speed, but not really seeing how much arc he put on the ball. There may have been more masse there than we thought, Mark, to be honest with you. Giving Albin the credit what I think we should give him.
And I agree. And because we know he didn't push it out routine.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is Albin knows that secondary shot that you got to come with that too. Just making the 2-ball wasn't enough. You had to make another one. 7-ball in the wing did not go close to the pocket, but 2 balls are down. The one and something else. What was it? 3, I think.
Well, Albin's got another 2-ball, similar area as last time, to be honest with you. Now, doesn't have much really interfering besides the 9-ball coming back over. I don't think he wants to roll it. It's not necessary. He may just make things simple and go into the 9 here, right, Mark?
He indicated the 9 was a problem for him. He kind of whipped his cue towards it like, you're right in my way. And the 9 is only a problem if you hit the low side of it.
And the top side could be bad too, but just the side pocket, So these guys usually like to put just a hair left on it, so he'll probably just go with that. If he catches the 9, he catches it. But yeah, he put a lot of left trying to avoid the 9.
Well, he did hit top side of the 9. He's okay.
Yeah. This is the angle where it doesn't want to slide as much coming across the ball, from where he lies. So I think the pocket a little tighter for him on this shot. Hit it sweet.
These guys are good players, boy. They just don't even falter even on those little testy shots like that. No let up.
Yeah, and the only thing I see that from yesteryear as a whole with the players from today is probably when I watched them pocket a ball like that, or all the balls they do keep pocketing. It just looks like the quality of practice and the amount of practice in today's game compared to, even some of the best years ago. They practiced, don't get me wrong, but, there's just a little bit better information and a little bit more of a package today as far as the regimen for professional pool players.
Yeah, the sport's evolved significantly. Look at the field that we assembled here, and it's not even the most difficult field ever that we've had here because there was a lot of players missing due to COVID. But nonetheless, it was a high-quality field. However, the players of yesteryear would have been top players today because they would have worked harder and they would have had access to the information these guys have. So,
yeah, I truly believe that. Champions from before would have been champions today. I just see that shot being a little more routine, just like that 5-ball. It looks a little more routine for the guys today, and I know that my peers, my heroes from years ago, they won't take it personal. That's certainly not what I mean, but
yeah, it's just the evolution.
It's just fact. It looks like, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. If you think Jose Perica wouldn't be a top player with these guys, you don't know Jose Perica.
Yeah, Nick Varner, Billy Cardone, all those guys. Now he's going to get a little flattish here. Now watch how he kind of makes it creep out of there, Mark. He won't overhit this too much. Let it roll into position with the top inside English. Oh, he's hitting down, so he might be stunning one rail. Nah, he's going top.
And he didn't want a bunch of arcing top spin on there, so he went more side spin that time, I think, so he could keep the pace down.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens there when you're a little full, you don't really need that high tip,
right,
to help the cut shot like you would on a thinner cut.
7-5 our score. Boy, is that another break and run out? It was, too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that
2-ball, yeah.
That was his 4th one.
All right, our TPA.
Man, oh, man.
931 versus 927. Mistakes are at a minimal, and they seem like they've been a long time ago, the mistakes.
Yeah, the big difference here is 4 breaking runs for Albin and 0 breaking runs for Shane.
Yeah, you could really on open tables, you could definitely say that Albin's made a few more mistakes, but he's also followed up with some incredible outs. Kind of reminds me of last year's Moscone with Jason Shaw. There were a couple mistakes by Jason, but that MVP performance is what I'm getting at. But he sure did make it up with a lot of incredible shots.
Yeah. Yeah, we're only 4 or 5 weeks away from the Moscone Cup.
Yeah, about 5 weeks, December 7th through the 10th, right there at Alley Pally.
You ever been there before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there in 18. And
It's a cool place.
It sure is. Now watching, he knows it's a non-complying break immediately when they get those kisses.
The 5th time in this match that Shane's broke and has to walk away and sit down.
And don't think you're going to see Albin gamble too much on this first shot. Maybe he tries to get to the cross-side bank on the 3. Shane knew instantly once he got that kiss right there that it was pretty much over as far as complying with the break rules.
It's sort of an aberration, though, because he's breaking them pretty good, and we haven't seen people struggle this much.
He didn't want to be on the rail with the cue ball. He'll that's why you saw him get back down. He didn't quite let it go like he normally does. And now a very difficult decision, even with the 4 hanging over the side. Do you guarantee shape here? What's going to happen? Because he's got to cut the bank a bit, Mark.
He does. It's not an on-angle bank at all.
No, and he's gotten himself into a point to where there's some safeties there, but they're all very touchy. I tell you, it's close. If he was off the rail with this angle, Mark, he could draw the ball, right? And do something. But going to the rail to the backside of the 5 is very... Oh, look at him elevating. So watch out. He's wanting to get some power.
Nothing plays great here.
He usually comes away with a shot if he makes the bank. How sweet was that stroke?
Man, it was. What a good shot that was.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to tell you, Alexander Palace, the Rolling Stones played there.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, the building's been around some 160 years?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Oh, what a cool place.
Yeah,
along with a lot of other stars, too. I don't think the Beatles ever played there, though.
Oh, I thought you just said that.
I said the Rolling Stones.
Oh, the Rolling Stones. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Stones. That's better. If you're an American anyways, even though
Easy.
I love the Beatles. I love the Beatles. Don't get me wrong. But all right, caught the 7, got a little tip position, stayed a little low.
Huh.
Now he's kind of trapped himself a little bit being on the rail with the cue ball.
It was almost like he let up on the stroke, though, because his speed was never good on that ball.
Well, and no coincidence. A little quick coming back. That's really kind of how you let up on the ball coming forward sometimes. Now he's got to take on the shot. The good thing for him, with a high ball, he goes by the 6, and he has natural shape. The key to this one is don't let up. You have a bigger pocket with the ball sliding down the rail a little bit. Yeah, see that?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow, he maximized the width of the pocket with a super smooth stroke. What a delivery.
Strongest part of these guys' game, in my opinion, that recovery. It really separates them, right, Mark? From the next class.
It does, yeah. The elite from the good players is just small little fragments.
Now the problem for SVB, of course, some break, but a big problem is Albin Ouschan. But even bigger, we're approaching, that 10, that number 10 for Albin.
And he has not relented one bit. I can't even remember him turning the table over where it was unforced.
No, he's gotten better and better.
That bank shot he made in this rack, wow. That cross side and then to get position. And then he hit a bad ball, but then he made up for it with a fantastic shot.
Yeah, and he kind of trapped himself, to be honest with you, because he landed near the rail. If he left him, try to play it safe and left any piece of it with all those balls there, Shane was really going to put the, the handcuffs on him, right? Couldn't go up table with the cue ball very easily off of that angle and control it. So I think he still made the right percentage play going for the bank, even though it was tough.
Mm-hmm. Right. The safety was just as tough, if not tougher. I think he would have liked to play. I don't think he really wanted to shoot that bank, to tell you the truth.
No, but I see it kind of like Federer Gorst. You know, Federer, he recognizes a tough shot. He recognizes when maybe he was off a little bit on something and made, something a little tougher because of it. But he really relies on his thought process and then his reps. I mean, when I see Federer take on a tough shot, I can almost see him saying to himself, I'll do this every day. And I'm going to just trust what I see, make the stroke, and it's probably going to be just fine. And the more you do that, the more you start to realize it's correct.
Well, both players on the right side of the break box. That's the 5 ball on the wing. It gets rattled in. It didn't go directly in. I didn't see. Did the one find the side? It did, didn't it?
Yeah, and he's going to,
2 balls are down.
I think, have a 2-6 combo. Off angle. And a little thin, but the combo actually leans towards a little thicker hit.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he can roll this in. It's the kind of combo you hate to hit light.
Yeah. Yeah, because you never gave it a chance. You just beat it right into the rail where it was aimed. He made a great opening rack combo. I don't know if you remember that in the first rack. And then he missed that combination in the side pocket on the 9 that we both felt comfortable that he was going to pocket.
And watch what he's doing. He recognizes that playing the combo is much, much thicker than the actual cut of the 2 to the hole. So I think he thinks he can roll this in and hold his ball for a shot. Now the 2's going to fall towards the rail a little bit. He may even run 1 rail into the 3 here. He wants to put a hair of left on this to try and even slow it down more. I know that sounds crazy, but you get to hit the 2 a little thicker if you put a hair left.
Pretty shot.
Yeah.
Pretty shot.
And just committing to that slow speed, that's the difference. I mean, like if you were playing a video game, right? That was the shot. You would just hit the button to shoot that shot. And to be able to do it in the semifinal, that's what, really separates these guys.
Yeah, it was a smooth cueing action now.
Yeah.
He's just going to go side rail, and come back out for the 3. He can't try to, or maybe he could go 3 rails forward, but I don't anticipate it.
No, he'll let the stroke out, hitting the, like you said, 1, 2, and then catch the 3rd coming across. Oh, he didn't. Oh, my.
And
finally,
a 2.
Yeah, finally a chink in the armor, right?
Yeah. Had he not missed the 2, the cue ball would have stayed on the other side of the pocket and would have had a little more pace on it, too.
Yeah, Shane was getting down to shoot this, and I was like, man, this is a little funny. I don't think I shoot rail first, and I don't think I try to get close to the 3. Yeah, I don't think he could do a whole lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got it. The 4's past the side a little bit, so if he's for sure contacting the 9 right here, this could get a little tricky, and I'll tell you why. If he catches the 9 thin, he may come up 1 rail into the 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the one. And if he hits it solid, he could get kind of like 50-yard line on the 4, like no man's land.
Yeah, and the 4 is just past the side pocket. So
Exactly.
if you don't get down there, you're in a real bind.
So he may address this. Now, if he can get it, I think straight high, he's okay. But he's trying to feel the hit on the 9 to see if he needs to apply a little side spin to direct the cue ball.
Yeah.
And watch out for the 7. I think he plans on hitting the 9.
He's going to draw up off the 9.
No, see that? He had to put some left on there and actually intentionally go into the 9 a little heavier. That way he could predict what was going to happen.
Well, he's mighty glad he's got that shot down.
Well,
that.
It's a little feel shot, of course. It's not something you practice much, but that's why you practice, so you do feel them a little better, right?
Right.
Now he has to play underneath the 8, I think, a little bit. We'll see. Man, what a big miss by Albin. Goes on the heel, 9-5 right there.
But it wasn't an easy shot. We're just surprised because he hasn't missed any hard shots. So
No, none of them are easy,
Right.
I've never tried to be one to say, oh, he should always run out here. I mean, a lot of times we'll say there's not problems, and we figure him to run out, but it's still a lot of work for these guys.
Big difference now, 8-6 instead of 9-5.
Huge, and Shane's breaking. So if he can get a ball down, get a little control, he can put a little heat.
Can he pass the break to Albin?
Well, you'd have to ask the guy that I've never seen anyone do more of, and that's our great Pat Fleming. Back in the Camel Tour and PBT days when the break box was introduced, of course, Pat being the math guy he is, their first spell, he deferred the break in a lot of those matches.
I never
and he
had
won
the
matches
courage.
too, you know.
Oh.
I mean, doing it. I mean, he was a really good player anyways, but, I mean, you would think it's hard to win deferring the break against Rodney Morris and this guy and that guy. And
Nick Varner.
yeah, exactly.
He mathematically decided it, and I understood the math. I just never had the courage to do it because I just felt like if a guy breaks or runs out, I'm going to feel stupid this could be. So.
Well, I think there was a period of time when the break box was first introduced. The players are too great to, you know, they're going to figure it out. That I think he had some merit or some value in giving up the break.
Oh, he mathematically proved that it works. And then, but the other part is the psychological aspect. You know, I mean, it's sort of like, you're kidding, you know.
All right, I see a very determined face right here from SVB.
5-ball on the wing, 5 balls in the corner pocket, 1 ball's down.
He's made one. He's complied. He's got a thin 1 ball, but I doubt if he passes the shot.
It's ultra thin.
Well, the reason why is, you know, he can feel comfortable. Look, the path between the 2 and 3 are very good, you know, very open, right? He may lay him behind the 8, but I tell you, I know he wants to shoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's shooting, dude.
He's sizing it up right now.
Or measuring at least. I know, it's kind of funny how these matches go. A lot of times you go through a match and you just don't get the starts at the racks.
Well, he can kill the cue ball behind the 8, but he's got to cut the 1 a bit. So that really banking the 1 down isn't perfect for that, right? So I like him shooting myself. You know, good committed stroke. He's got 2 pockets, 3 pockets really for the 2, but most likely the lower left or the side. Oh, he hit it sweet. May end up on top of this ball a little bit.
He deserves a little shot here. Come on.
How's the speed?
That looks pretty good.
He's got a nice 3 ball, a 4 ball that leads to a little bit of a problem on the 6, but he should be able to handle it. And I think it was me and you. You know, for all these guys, if you're like Shane or Dennis or Albin, if you need something from them, the only way you're really going to get it usually is keep the heat on. You know, kind of every so often we get reminded they're human. All right, looks like to me he's got a nice 1 rail path. That's the most comfortable. Get at the 6. If he has to put inside going 2 rails, he will.
He'd prefer not to, though, because this
absolutely.
way he's going straight at his line rather than across it. So
Yeah,
a little bigger margin of error this way.
absolutely. Now he'll want to roll forward here, right? Or stun forward at least a couple inches to be able to reach it.
I think he's measuring because if he...
I would stun forward or roll forward just a hair. What do you think?
I think forward is the easier play.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go a long ways, of course. No. This is where Shane really has all the shots. If he feels the roll is good or if the stun, whichever he needs. There you go, the light stun.
It's amazing, you know, like that shot right there. Just that little turn of the ball, just a ball and a half width movement makes so much difference in your consistency. But so it's not just like most people say, oh, he stopped the ball. No, he didn't stop the ball at all. He worked the ball there, just a ball and a half width to get a more ideal angle to work with. He felt a little funny here, but he's okay.
Oh, he's going to have to draw this. I don't think follow is really the way to go.
No, you spend too much time in no man's land. He can just draw over, you know, just
exactly.
diamond short with a little bit of right, and he'll just check up. He'll have a little back cut into the side.
Well, what people don't understand also about that stun you were talking about is they think that's a flat ball. That ball is rotating. It's rotating mildly, of course. It's no heavy draw spin, but it does have rotation on it. And that means a lot. He got a little thinner than I thought, but
I thought he would do more. Yeah, I was a little surprised.
he's a little funny face there.
Well, the cue ball's going to be fairly hot here.
Oh, he'll kill that. Plus, him and Bustamante are the two greatest ever going into the side pocket like this. In my opinion, anyways. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Ooh.
Okay.
He didn't really put much right on it. I thought he'd put a little more right on it, Mark.
I think it was a little thin. He wanted to make sure he got that ball down, And
Yeah.
Anyway, that was his first break and run out of the set right there, and it was a good, solid one. Pulls him back within a game.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait now.
Well, Van Boening's playing 946. I mean, that's high-quality stuff there.
Yeah, missed 2 ball there from Albin, and then Shane doing what Shane needs to do to get back in this match.
Cost 2 games.
Yeah, and, like I said, so many reasons why these guys are 2 of the best, but leaving that mistake behind is one of them. Don't think the back ball's on yet.
No, he doesn't.
He does
I
the
just
other 8
noticed
first, yeah. Now, yeah, like I said, leaving that mistake behind is another reason why these guys are so good, but they are human. So we'll see what Albin does in game number 16.
One ball fell.
The 2's going to agree very nicely.
I guess the 5 ball crossed the line.
Yeah, the six moved past the line as well.
I know the 6 did. That was, yeah.
Yeah, the 5's just passed. You can see from.
Yeah.
We have an overhead in our little booth now. Albin making sure.
Oh, is Kenny uncertain? Well, Kenny's uncertain that it was compliant. We know that it is.
Yeah.
I think Shane informed Kenny that it was.
Yeah, now, good thing he's close to it here. I don't think he wants to follow his ball, and bring the 9-7 into play. So he'll want to cue this with low right English, checking the cue ball off the side rail, and just kind of bending it back into the center of the table, kind of slowly. Doesn't want to take a chance of getting snookered. If he ends up a hair thin on the 3, I don't think he minds that.
No, there might be a scratch on this too if he hit the high side of the 3.
Oh, I don't think I think he'll draw by that. I don't think he'll contact the 3 or another ball. I think he pulls this ball, kind of throws it in, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
goes to the side rail and then back out.
Plays super tough if you have to rub the 3, so you're probably right.
Yeah, slow draw. Oh, he caught the 3. That's gambling.
Well, he overcut it.
Yeah, he sure did. I don't think there was ever any intention of catching that 3 ball. Now he's falling a little straight. He's got to go short side maybe because it looks like to me, without being right on the angle, is he drawn towards the 6 a hair? So he's got to go forward here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's got to go forward.
Just anything but off on the rail and straight in. Oh, he's good. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Albin defaults towards that rolling ball hit rather than a stunning ball hit. That's just his style. And you'll see him and he plays it very well. There's other guys that play a little more of a power game. And they tend to go stun and maybe try to slide to the cushion, cheat the pocket a little bit.
Yeah, and what you want to have is all of them, right?
Oh, yeah, you need all the tools. And these guys do have all the tools, but I'm just saying when it comes to a default, Albin's more of a rolling ball player.
And what you'll find when they're close to the ball is really whenever they pick what they like a little bit more. When you get longer shots, there's sometimes a standard way to play them just because the distance makes it difficult, for you to choose what you want to do all the time. Used every bit of the pocket there and fell a little bit on the bad side of the 7, but shouldn't be a problem. excuse me, a bad side of the 6.
This is a big rack for Albin. I mean, the score either ends up tied if he doesn't get out, or he's on the hill and Shane needs to beat him 3 in a row. This would be his 5th break and run out of the set. Pretty hard to lose going to 10 if you break and run out 5 times.
Yeah, and he has a choice here. He can come 2 rails. He can come 1 rail. Him being at the table really sees that. Oh, he's going to draw 1 rail. I like this even better. Because once you come off that rail, you're golden, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's just execution now. Cue ball goes right where it's supposed to go. Naturally.
And a nice run. And what is that? Break and run number 5 or 6?
5.
5. Wow. So when he has complied, when he has made balls, he has made a difference.
Yeah. I mean, Shane's still ahead of him in the TPA. He's by 20 points. Shane, what more do you want? Although I do think there's 1 error missing on that.
Okay, Shane can
Break performance.
Yeah,
Scratches
break
on the break.
performance.
So he had 2 there, and we know he missed the 1 ball, that long, tough 1 ball. So
Yeah. Yeah, can't really write them down how they went down, right? As far as those scratches on the break. A scratch on the break that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing that Albin, of course, not anything that I'm sure he's thought of. It's just for us to think of. And he wins this tournament here. He probably wins Player of the Year. After this pandemic, we had a little break. Winning the World 9-Ball Championships, winning the league pool there by Matchroom CLP, their new event. And then the international on Stellar Field. I'm sure he's had results in Europe. He always does. So Carlo Beato, of course, always plays great. Won the U.S. Open, right?
Right.
But maybe not the other performances that we've seen from Albin here in 2021. Don't see one down just yet. Oh, yeah, he did make... No, he didn't make one, and Albin's going to get to come to the table. 1 tough shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can't quite cross it over that easy either. He may attack here, Mark. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a haphazard shot, but now a 1, can he cross the 1 back towards the 8 and do something with the cue ball? That's not a kiss at all. If he crosses it the other way with the 5 being there, the 9 being there, the 3-4 being there, I don't really see much good.
Right.
But if he banks it like in between the 6-7 coming down the table, he could slowly go up towards the 9 with the cue ball maybe. Still dangerous, but I like him maybe digging here. I know that looks crazy, but...
Well, he measured it. We saw Shane Van Boening power draw this ball back on the 10-foot table.
We'll see how still he stays. The safety part of the shot is the draw, meaning trying to get separation if you do miss. Oh, he's going high ball. So he's got one of the best follow-through strokes you've ever seen as well. So he may be trying to get all the way back down with follow. Oh, my.
I thought he was I thought he was going
I'm
safe
telling you.
with top spin. Boy, that'd be something.
Yeah, he was going with top.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought draw had a better chance than top myself.
To have a miss of that dimension.
Well, that's what we said earlier about who can power up, right? Who has the most power? Well, there's a lot of guys that can power up, but who's going to really keep the accuracy when powering up?
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, usually Albin's one of the best at it, but I still thought draw was better because if you put follow, you could tell he was trying to put a bunch of right on the ball as well to try and help the speed of the cue ball.
Yeah, it was a terrible place that just when you miss by that dimension, I don't usually let myself. I'd rather play the safety and try to float in behind the 9, but
I agree. I think that was your best shot probably.
But it's fractional, and look how good he's played. It's hard to criticize him, but he did butcher that one.
Yeah, and he's left this funny. Can't easily go behind the 8. Can't easily come off the right side of the 1 and make it spread accurately down behind the 9. Okay, what's he looking at here? Maybe Is he looking at putting the one ball in a certain place? Is that what he's thinking? Yeah. So he's going to chop this and come 2 rails behind the 9. I like this better. Like that. See where he's putting the 1?
Man, look at that cue ball control.
See how much cover he's got?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Doggone it. There's
Really
no
nice.
quit. No quit whatsoever.
There is a 2-rail kick to the long rail, a little bit before the side, coming between the 2 and 3, and up underneath the 1. I like. I wouldn't go super light. I wouldn't go super hard. Just right in the medium zone. It looks like he's elevating. I didn't know it really required much of that.
Boy, what a
Yeah,
shot.
watch out, cue
What
ball.
a shot.
Wow, that was close to like laying on the corner there and corner hooking Shane. A beautiful hit there by Albin. Okay, a lot of work here for Shane. Got a little off where he wanted there. He got more thin than he wanted,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Now the 3 does go in a few pockets, so.
He kind of nodded his head up and down like, yep, that's what I got. And I didn't want that.
Oh, my.
Well, trying to slow.
Yeah, he overcut it.
This match has not played out for Shane Van Boening at all. Even the wrecks he's made, he's had an awful time. That finally made the ball in the break and had to cut a ball about like where the 9 ball sat in. And he did it great. But finally it caught up when he missed one there.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I was a little curious why he played the 1 to play on that side of the 2 with ball in hand. I thought he could easily get to this very open side of the 2 and broaden the angle a little bit. I mean, ball in hand, he was probably wanting to get a little better than what he got, and he'll tell you he's not supposed to miss that 2 ball, but like you said, it's just been a funky match, right?
Yeah. It's not typical because we never see him experience those. We never see him experience that much difficulty on the break. Maybe we get the Predator instant replay on that miss shot. That's probably, here it is. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, it was leaving the rail right from the start just a little bit. And now, very natural angle to come 2 rails. He's going to have to take a little more shot on the 6. Probably, dives the cue ball 2 rails behind the 7 when he shoots the 6. Depends on how full he gets, Mark. So,
Golly.
yeah.
Really good speed.
Yeah, now he may be able to draw 1 rail and not have to dive the cue ball, to the right side of his right side of the 7 to the in rail and out.
That would be his preference.
Yeah, that's what he's sizing up, and he can certainly do it. Got a great draw stroke, and one of the reasons it's so great is he doesn't force it. Now, of course, the draw it takes a little more than follow, but he still that's naturally happen. Oh, he's going around it, not drawing.
That must be too much.
I didn't think it was. Oh, he went inside. Wow. Now, Albin uses that shot a little bit more than a lot of other pros, We've seen it in the 10-footer this week a couple times.
Ball weighs a little fat. Go 2 cushions across. I mean, it lays a little thin.
Right.
The hole it's right in that little nether region.
Well, it's the type of shot that top right may not get you there alone. You may have to put a little into it to get that 2 rails we were talking about. So that's why you see him hitting a little down. Yeah, he wanted to make sure he got there. And still a little bit shy. So big shot here, not out of the woods, that's for sure. Be interesting to me if he wants to use a little more right to help pocket this ball. Because depending on his tip position, this is going to be fairly hot. He may have a little bit of a thought of the cue ball in that upper left-hand corner. Hit it good enough.
Oh, boy. Yeah, quality run out there. But really, you know, the story was that Shane did not get many good starts. The break didn't work, and Albin played really tremendous pool. I mean, both players over 900. So.
Yeah, and the crowd certainly appreciates it, and we appreciate you, Shane Van Boening. Another great finish. Of course, not what he wanted. He always wants to win, but what a final we have coming.
Yeah. Spirited performance by both players, and once again, we want to thank everyone for joining us. This has been an Accu-Stats video production. That's our time for this time. Until next time, so long for just a while.